Okay, so I just did this like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, and the mic didn't work. And I just sat here and you guys all commented in a kind way. We're like, hey, we got no sound. There's no sound. We can't hear you. So hopefully, so I called my friend who helps me with YouTube. His name is Chris Zimmerman. He's fantastic. And he was like, how did you break YouTube? Because it was just spinning and spinning and spinning. And I couldn't even close it. And I felt like I was 800 years old, like that lawyer that did the cat thing yesterday. Like, oh my gosh. So I deleted YouTube. I closed, Joanne, that's not funny. Thank you, Chris Zimmerman. I closed YouTube and I kept opening it back up and it'd be like, hey, Jon Acuff's doing a live Q&A. I'd be like, no, I'm not. All right, here we are, back at it. Do a couple minutes. One cool announcement, we launched the pre-orders for my new book, Soundtracks, yesterday. So super excited about that. If you pre-order the book, there's a bunch of cool things you get. I'll drop that link into the chat. It's soundtracksbook.com. I think the cool thing about it, my favorite thing is if you pre-order the book between now and April 5th, and if you've already done it, you can still get this deal. You get the entire audiobook for free. Entire audiobook, which is awesome. I read it, tons of bonus content. You also get a bonus chapter, and it's a good chapter. Sometimes when people do bonus chapters, you're like, this is a sucky chapter. We actually worked really hard on the bonus chapter. You also get the first lesson in the soundtracks course. We shot a brand new, beautiful soundtracks course. There's 6 lessons, and you get a book plate. I am signing thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of these. I have a stack, like there's probably 5,000 there. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to go sign some more. So I talked about this the other day. Here's why it matters when you pre-order a book. And Judith, thank you so much for reading the bonus chapter. A lot of people don't know this. Like Amazon, the way Amazon works, they carry as few products as possible because they have such a huge inventory. So they don't carry 1,000 copies of your book. They order like 7. So then what happens is during pre-order, your goal as an author is to pre-sale as many possible to Amazon in particular so that they go, oh, I should order some more. Because what happens is if you don't, your book goes on pre-sale, like from pre-sale to available, and it goes out of stock instantly. So I've seen that happen so many times where like April 5th, it's pre-order. At midnight, they ship out their 7 books, and the next day it says your book's not available. So it's a huge problem for authors. Nothing kills a book launch like your book being delayed for 2 weeks. So that's why authors like me are like, hey, pre-order, pre-order, pre-order. That's why we're doing a bunch of bonuses. That's why I'm signing up so many of these. I was blown away that the publisher was willing to do a giveaway of the entire audiobook, not a sample, not a section, the whole audiobook if you pre-order. So hopefully go to soundtracksbook.com, pre-order. If you already pre-ordered, fill out the form there. We'll send you the stuff. Okay. It is 5 o'clock. Let's answer a couple questions. It's the end of the day. It's not a lunch and learn kind of thing, but are there any things I can help you with? So you know the topics I talk about, unless you've just stumbled upon my channel. So writing books, goal setting, public speaking, side hustle business. I talk about a lot of different things. So is there anything I can help you with today? Any question you've got that you're like, yeah, I'd love some encouragement about blank, or hey, do you have any feedback about blank? Anything I can do today, I'll answer as many as I can for the next couple of minutes. So lay it on me. I'm here to answer questions. Brenda, she pre-ordered. Awesome. Love it, love it, love it. You might get this one. This might be the one you get. There's 5,000 of them just right over there. So anything I can do today to help you with anything you're working on. I'd love to do some Q&A. Let's see. Oh, message retracted. Have you listened to the new Foo Fighters album yet? I haven't. Good question though. I haven't listened to the new Foo Fighters album. I'm sure I'll listen to it on Spotify. That's usually where I listen to things. Clever Clovers by Jennifer. Suggestions for getting out of a rut. I think sometimes, let me just give you kind of my version of a rut. I think sometimes we're in a rut because we haven't admitted yet that we need to create a new rhythm. So for instance, when you went from working in an office to working at home, you had to build a new rhythm. When your kids went virtual school, you had to come up with a new rhythm. When you go back to the office someday, you'll have to come up with a new rhythm. So one thing I always encourage people to do is Give yourself space and time to create a new rhythm. Create a new rhythm. It's not going to be instant. It took you a long time to create that last rhythm. So give yourself some scale, some pace to create this rhythm. Oh, okay. Trey, any thoughts on having a spouse join you in the family business full-time? Question, should you have a spouse join you in the business full-time? It depends on the relationship. It depends on the marriage. It depends on the spouse. I know two people that do an amazing job. Lindsay Marino and Michael Marino do an amazing job as business partners. They're awesome. It works for them so well. Jenny and I, nope. Jenny's like, I need to be your wife, not your business partner. Because for us, what happens is every part of our relationship gets dominated by the business. And then every time we go out to dinner, or every time we do a date night, we're just talking business. So it's better for her to have a role. Like, she is very involved in a lot of the things, but she doesn't work for the business. She's not a full-time employee of the business. And so for us, she's like, I need you to have an executive assistant so that I don't divorce you. She's like, an executive assistant is a lot cheaper than therapy. So let's make sure we have other people in the business, because I'm not going to be your employee. Like, I need to be your spouse. Jared, I'm self-publishing a book this year and I'm almost done self-editing. What is the best idea for a launch? The best idea for a launch is to start talking about the book before it's time to launch the book. You never want to start talking about the book like a month before, a week before. I've been talking about Soundtracks, my new book, for months and months and months and months and months. I started talking to you guys about that last year. It launches in less than 8 weeks, so I'm going to ramp up the conversation. But start talking about it way before you think you should talk about it. Like, build some momentum. All right. Janice Jones, I'm part-time generational family photographer in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm struggling with setting goals. So I mean, here's the thing. Go into it in a small way. Like, the problem with goals is that we want to come right out of the gate with something massive. We want to go, okay, I didn't run last week. I'm going to run 20 miles this week. I didn't take any client photos last week. I'm going to take 15 clients this week. Give yourself some realistic, good goals that stretch you, but don't cripple you. So for instance, if I didn't take family photos in the last 3 weeks, I wouldn't say these next 3 weeks, I'm going to work with 10 clients. You're setting yourself up for failure. So be realistic about that. Go, okay, I'm going to set, a goal for 2 families, or I'm going to set a goal to send out 4, feelers. I'm going to cold call, whatever the thing is you're measuring, like, go at it in a small, smart way. Would love to hear your debrief from your habit tracker last month. What did you eliminate and why? Okay, Joanne. So I kept a bunch of habit track last year and last month. So last month in January, the ones I got rid of, I was like, one of the goals, this is silly. I wanted to learn a new road every day because I don't know the roads around our neighborhood. My wife always teases me, like, she'll go, hey, we need to go to so-and-so's house on such and such lane. And I'll be like, where is that? And she's like, we drive past it every day. And I was like, is it near a Taco Bell? And she just drives her nuts. So I was like, I'm going to learn a new road every day. That was dumb. Like, it just wasn't a good goal. In the middle of it, I was like, this is dumb. I don't care about it. So I 100% dropped that goal. I kept most of them. I changed 60-minute writing to 30-minute writing or 500 words because I realized, like, I tend to go over 30, but I wanted it to be more achievable. So I downsized that goal a little bit, but I felt I carried most of them on. All right. Would love Margaret, trying to stay positive. COVID, pneumonia, 1 and goal 0. Hate to start the year this way. So Margaret, here's the thing. You can't compare this year to last January. Like, one of the hardest, like, we always talk about don't compare yourself to other people. I don't think you compare yourself to yourself because you can get really stuck there. Like, you want to be like competitive with yourself. I get that idea of like, I ran this mile this time last year and I want to improve it. But the problem is we're so unfair. It'd be so unfair for you to go, oh, I can't believe my body got COVID and pneumonia. Like, no, like, you have it. Like, you shouldn't accomplish the same. It'd be like when I got mono in college, it would have been unfair to me to be like, you lazy, I can't believe you're sleeping more. Oh, mono, what an excuse. So the thing I'd say to you is, like, be kind to yourself. Like, say to yourself, like, I would even go, My new year is March. Like Margaret, this year you get to say my new year is March because you got COVID. Awesome. So you're going to kind of recover in February. Guess what? March 1st is your January 1st. And that's great. Amy, I'm struggling on what to set as my goals, thoughts. It's hard to do what you want when you don't know what you want. So I think we do ourselves a disservice when we look for the perfect goal. Some people here like start with why, or like you've got to do your thing, and they think it has to be perfect. It took me years and years and years to understand that I like talking and writing and encouraging people about goals. Like I didn't set out like years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I didn't go, I'm going to figure out how to help people with goals. What happened is I wrote a book called Quitter about like changing your job. And then I wrote a book about starting a goal. Then I wrote a book about do-over, about doing over your career. And then I wrote a book about finishing goals. And I was like, wait a second, I'm a goal nerd. Like I love goals. And now I look back on that and go, okay, I'm going to write about this. So my thing is, you learn so many things by the doing. So if I couldn't figure out what goal to do, I would find like one that I was mildly interested in, not deeply passionate, mildly interested, and then I'd start to work on it. Dan, do you know what requirements there would be to sell food/baked items out of your home? Boy, Dan, I do not. Having never done that, I don't know. But I know that the internet knows. So if it were me, I would go do the research. Like I would go to, I'm sure each state has different rules. So I would find my state's health department website or regulations because they'll tell you. So there'd be two things I'd do. I'd do that. And then I'd find somebody in my state that is selling food out of their home and I'd ask them questions. So that's the gift of the internet. Like the answers are out there. I don't have them, but I know that they're only a couple steps away from you having them. Ooh. Andrew, how do you keep yourself from under-celebrating the goal you reached, i.e. you finish the project, run the race, and are already thinking of the next goal without appreciating your accomplishment? That's hard because sometimes I move on to the next goal because I'm really excited. So I think one thing is you share it with people. I'm a big believer in that. So today, I had two good things happen this week, like two great things. And so I went to lunch with my friend, Rob, and I told him what happened. And I said, hey, these two things happened and we were working on them and we didn't know if it was going to happen and they happened this week. And I shared it. So sometimes even just saying it out loud and giving somebody else a chance to go, oh, wow, that's great, is a part of celebrating. So that one thing I'd say is like share it with somebody else because it'll pause you. Even just the telling of it helps pause you. All right, we'll do like three more, and then I'm going to go get ready for dinner. Vince Hoover, I struggle with my paper goal tracker for 4 goals. What's the best goal tracker app? I like Streaks. It's the word Streaks, Streaks. It's really simple. It's beautifully designed. They won't let you do too many things. So I personally have enjoyed the goal app Streaks. That's the one I've used. Aaron Patterson, I've been seeing some thoughts on imposter syndrome lately. What's your take? Yeah, I think everybody has it. I think everybody in the world has some form of imposter syndrome. And here's why. Here's kind of my take. When you do something new, you might not be a pro at that yet because you've got to learn. Like it would be it's not imposter syndrome for me to think I'm not amazing at podcasting because guess what? Like I'm not amazing at podcasting. I've got 5 episodes. I've recorded a bunch more. I'm getting better. I'm learning and I'm growing. But that's not imposter syndrome. That's I'm an amateur and I'm going to learn how to be an amateur. It's imposter syndrome where I've done something a number of times and still feel like an imposter. If I feel like I'm not a real writer, that's imposter syndrome because I have shelves of evidence that like I'm a writer. If I feel like I'm not a real runner, like that's imposter syndrome. I've run half marathons. If you feel like you're not a good dad and you've raised kids and they love you and you love them, like you're a good dad. So that's my difference. Like there's things I'm an amateur on, awesome. And there's things that I am I have imposter syndrome on, and I have to admit, like, no, I've written 7 books. Like I'm going to write an 8th book. Like I'm not an imposter. Like that's fine. Any advice? Ooh, okay. Yeah, tell Streaks I need to get paid for the shout out. I know, right? I should do that. Okay, last question, and then we'll do some more of these. I got a huge announcement about something we're doing starting February 22nd. We've got a new challenge coming, and I can't wait. But in the meantime, go pre-order Soundtracks, soundtracksbook.com. I'm going to talk about it. It comes out in 8 weeks. Can't wait for you guys to read this one. Kristen, last question. Good for you, Kristen. Sliding in there. Any advice on writing your own bio? Yeah, I don't like doing it. That's not really advice, but I don't like doing it. You have to step outside yourself to do it. You have to step outside yourself to do it. And what I mean by that is you have to, like, if you write your own bio and you think about you as a person, you feel cocky, you feel arrogant, you feel dumb, you feel like you're exaggerating, you got to step yourself out. Step outside of yourself. Look at it from as much as you can objectively. Like, I'm Kristen, writing a bio about this other person named Kristen. How would I write it? Like, if I wrote somebody else's bio, I wouldn't get all tangled up in identity and arrogance and all these things. So my big thing there is step outside, say a handful of things. You're looking for shorthand. The goal of the bio is you give somebody else shorthand to remember you and share you. So when I write a bio for my public speaking page, I want some event planner to be able to quickly say to their boss, their manager, oh, we should have Jon Acuff speak here. Here's the 3 things he's done. And then that's easy for them. So I try to do like a paragraph. You haven't written a good bio if it doesn't make you uncomfortable. And what I mean by that is, like, you gotta share the things you've done well in a bio, and that might make you uncomfortable. So if your bio doesn't make you uncomfortable, you haven't cheered Kristen enough. Great questions today, guys. I'll keep doing these. Fun stuff coming up. Pre-order Soundtracks. Here's the book plate. I sign them. All these signs. But please, 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 go to soundtracksbook.com. That's where you can get all of the pre-order stuff. Free audiobook. First lesson in the Soundtracks video course. The bonus chapter. And the book plate, which I autographed. There's 5,000 of them. So have a great rest of your night. Thanks for watching, guys.